Hello, folks. Welcome back to my channel. This is Goosebumps Dude, and today I've decided that I'll be reviewing the first Goosebumps book in the series called Welcome to Dead House. Welcome to Dead House, the very first book from OG62. But before I move on to the story itself, I would just like to share a few words about this awesome front cover. Really like it. Set at night, in the dark, you have that huge house that is towering over us. And it's huge, right? It appears to be just big. And you have the front door that's partially open. And you have that orange kind of light that seems to be pouring out of the place. And the rest is set in the dark in a sort of a dark blue color. And you have a gnarly bent tree over there on the left. And the house looks kind of broken, kind of, messed up a little bit, kind of peeling off the stairs, the walls, everything. And the curious thing that we have is if you look at the front window on the right, my right anyway, you have some kind of individual, right? You can tell that there is something, at least something there. We don't really know what it is, but it is ghastly and it is scary. So this is Welcome to Dead House, the first Goosebumps book in the series. So, what is the story about? So basically, it's about a family, the Benson family, the Bensons, who decide to move on to that house that the father just inherited from a distant relative of his. And basically, this house is in that town called Dark Falls, right? And as they arrive there to that house, we have our two main characters, main protagonists, whatever you're going to call them, Amanda and Josh. And basically, they have a dog too, a pet named Petey. And as soon as they arrive, Josh, who's the younger brother, acts a little whiny. He doesn't want to go anywhere near the house. And his older sister tries her level best to make an effort at least to try to like it. But it seems that the dog also is not a big fan of that house. And you're going to have that. I forgot his name, I believe. Compton, something like that, who's basically going to see them he's going to show them the house. He's going to kind of, give them the lay of the land, so to speak. I forgot what that job is called when they show houses to people. I will look it up probably, but yeah, he's the real estate agent, perhaps that's what it's called. And basically, yeah, they just arrived there, and Amanda she's a little uneasy, as it seems that she's seeing things like people right in the house. And that town of Dark Falls looks pretty scary. It's like it's almost deserted. There aren't a lot of people there. And there's that big cemetery, and basically there's that school. I believe there's a school. And it's a very small town, but it's very strange. It's very deserted, right? It's like there's barely anybody there, right? So it is basically, yes, this is how the story is. And then as the story goes on, they're gonna meet some kids, but it seems that those kids also have some kind of a terrifying, vibe about themselves, right? So this is Welcome to Dead House, the first Goosebumps book in the series, and wow, I freaking enjoyed this book. Yeah, it's so good. It is so good. It sets the mood for the whole series because this is the first Goosebumps book that was published in July 1982, 20 and some years, right? And it is so good. It is so interesting as a story. As you delve into it, it gets scarier as you go on, as you progress. And the protagonist, namely Amanda, is a very nice character, in my opinion. She's the focus of the story. We see everything through her eyes. And she's really a good character. And even her brother, you grow into him, he grows on you, he grows in you, whatever the expression is. But yeah, this is a pretty good book. So this is Welcome to Dead House, and this is the first Goosebumps book in the series. And I really enjoyed it. And the twist near the end is absolutely terrifying. So this is the first Goosebumps book, but it's not too shabby at all. It is actually pretty terrifying, so I wouldn't recommend it for, children who are too young, perhaps to understand that this is just a story, right? That's not real, right? It's a fictional thing, fictional work, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody who is easily scared by things of that nature, right? Without giving it away. It kind of gets graphic and scary at some point, especially near the end. And there's a dream sequence in there, absolutely freaking out, freaking scary, man. But yeah, this is the first Goosebumps book in this series. Welcome to Dead House. So really enjoyed this. So if I were to rate this book on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a solid 8 out of 10. It is definitely a good Goosebumps book. It is one of the best ones to begin with. If you haven't looked into Goosebumps at all and you don't know much about it, save the name or save, some things like that. You've heard about Stein, but you don't know really where to start. Then I suggest you start with this one since it's the first book in the series. And I happen to start with this one, and I'm a fan. So it, it lets you, it speaks for itself that if this book is good, then you're most likely to enjoy the rest of the series. So I would definitely recommend you to read this book because it's a really, really good book and a great start to that awesome series made of 62 books, right? This is the original 62 books. So 8 out of 10 for me for this first Goosebumps book. Welcome to Dead House. What about you folks? What did you think about this Goosebumps book? Welcome to Dead House. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And again, this is a really great book, and I really would like to hear about your thoughts and views on this particular book. And well, in the meantime, folks, thank you for watching. And God willing, I will be reviewing other Goosebumps books. In the meantime, stay safe, goodbye, and take care. This is Goosebumps Dude for you, signing off.